Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is Amber's World. Yes, it's been a while and I feel like I say this for every video that I do. But you know what? We're not even gonna get into that. I don't wanna sound like a broken record. I'm gonna try to keep this introduction as short and sweet as possible. If you want to get to know more about this channel, feel free to check out my other videos so you can kind of get the gist of what I'm about, what I do, what I talk about on this channel. However, if you have clicked on this video, one thing's for sure, you are interested in becoming a flight attendant and you want some tips on how to do your best during the interview process. Before I even get into my tips that I have literally written down on my hotel notepad paper here, I am on a layover in Salt Lake City, so I'm literally on an assignment. And I figured, let me just take advantage of this wonderful lighting in this hotel room and some of the extra time that I have before I have to get ready for my flight today, and just kind of give you some tips. So if my original video that I posted a few years ago on how to do well for the virtual interview process and the face-to-face interview process, that is also on my channel, and I will try to link that video underneath this one so you know what I'm talking about and you can check out that one as well. But this is going to be kind of more like a Cliff's Notes version of that video. I figured this would be a really good time to kind of just revisit the things that I've talked about and re-emphasize some of the things that I mentioned in my original video. For those of you who are getting to know me for the very first time and maybe weren't interested in becoming a flight attendant a few years ago back when I gave my tips and are now. Even though, again, this is going to be more of a Cliff's Notes version of my original video, I am open to going more in depth with anything that I mentioned in this video. So if you have any questions and anything like that, go ahead and comment them below. And I am open to checking them out, doing my own research if I need to, and getting back to you in a different video. So without further ado, I'm gonna, again, try to make this video as quick as possible because I really hate editing. If you ask any YouTuber what is the worst part about being a YouTuber, and it's really just the editing part, which is kind of why I've lost my what's the word? My momentum on this channel, and I have been posting more shorts lately because it's just easier and quicker to edit shorts while still being consistent in uploading. Okay, so enough of that. I'm done rambling. Back to the content at hand. So for your flight attendant interview, I have 5 tips that I'm going to go over. And the first one is look your best. Now, this and all the other things that I'm going to talk about in this video are kind of, to some who are watching this is kind of like common sense and can really be applied to any interview that you do, not just for the flight attendant interview, but these are like the top 5 things that I feel like will help you be successful as far as navigating through the interview. And looking your best is first things first. Look your best, feel your best, make sure that you're groomed properly, make sure that you have a nice tailored suit or ironed dress. If you Google or Pinterest any type of like professional wear for an interview, you really can't go wrong, but you kind of want to almost mimic the flight attendant look. Don't do the scarf thing and don't try to wear the company's colors. Not like that. Don't imitate the flight attendants of the company that you're interviewing for, but like, you know, go with the typical like blazer with a dress underneath or blazer with a collared shirt. If you're a man or a woman, you can add a tie to the mix. Nice, perfectly tailored and ironed slacks. For women, if you want to wear a heel, that is definitely awesome. Of course, an appropriate business attire type of heel. Black, navy, gray, those are usually like the safe colors to do for an interview that aren't too distracting. But it's really how you carry yourself in the close, first and foremost. So look your best. The second one is relax. Relax, relax, relax. Not everybody is like me as far as how they approach the interview process. There's a lot of things that I'm not good at, but I'm really good at giving a great interview. I just like to talk to people. Let me edit that. I am good at talking to people. And so being able to speak in an interview has never been a challenge for me, and knowing what to say and kind of taking my time and giving my answers and not kind of rambling through and mumbling through the interview, that's never really been an issue for me, but I understand for some people that is an issue. So I would say, please relax. Do not let your nerves get the best of you, because if you do, the interviewer can tell that, and it's just going to be a domino effect of just disaster. And you're gonna find yourself saying things in the interview that probably don't even make sense at that point, because you're so in your head and you're nervous and the adrenaline. I get it, but try to use all of those feelings or emotions and the nerves, use that to your advantage. It's good to be nervous because that means that you care, but I need you to take time to take deep breaths, calm yourself as best as you can, and tell yourself that you've gotten this far because you've shown them that you have what it takes to get this far in the application process. So come into the interview with some confidence and knowing that you got this. If you check out my original video that I'll have linked below, I'll kind of get more in depth as far as how you should approach questions that are being given to you. But it's going to be hard to do that if you're not relaxed. So that would be next. The third one I have, think before you speak. So that kind of goes hand in hand with relaxing. Relax so that you can think before you speak. Don't think that you have to give an immediate answer to an interview when you are being asked a question. You can take a pause, or what do you call it? They call it a pause, they call it a beat. You can take a beat before you give your answer. Don't think that these are rapid fire questions, because they're not, okay? The interviewer only has power over what they ask you, but you have power over how you respond and the pace in how you respond. You really have more control and more power over the interview than you think you do. So please think before you speak, y'all. It's not a race. Take time to organize your thought before you give it to your interviewer so that you know what you're talking about, the interviewer knows what you're talking about, and you can feel confident in what you are actually saying. Number 4, do research on the company. So this is kind of like a cheat code for my next tip that I'm going to give you, my last tip I'm going to give you. Do research on the company, not just because you should know about the company that you want to apply for, but you kind of want to show the interviewer that you're not just applying for the job for the sake of having a job. You genuinely want to be a part of that company and be an asset to that company, and this is why. And you should be applying for a company that you genuinely like or think that has integrity and has, a good, a good track record as far as how they, treat their employees, how they care about, the world around them, how they're contributing to society, and not just focusing on profit, but how do they use that profit to, invest into the world. All of those things that you can find in your research. Not all companies are perfect. That's a whole other conversation for a different day. But the point is that please do some research, know something about the company so that you can have something to kind of give to the interviewer, because they might ask you a question like, why do you want to work for said company? Why do you want to work for said airline? Why do you want to be a flight attendant for this particular airline? And you know, you're gonna want to give a better answer than because I like to travel, because I'm telling you right now, that answer, just how about this? I'm gonna also give you another cheat code and just say, do not reply because I love to travel if you are asked why you want to be a flight attendant, and or why do you want to be a flight attendant for said company. Just don't do it. Just no. Okay. And for my fifth and last tip I'm going to give you guys is ask questions. So this tip and the last tip that I just gave you on doing your own research on the company kind of goes hand in hand, because if you do research on the company, that's going to give you an opportunity to provide questions at the interview. This is really good to show the interviewer that, again, you've been doing your research, you've been that you're really invested into your role, and you genuinely want a full picture of what your role and what your lifestyle is going to look like as a flight attendant, because this is definitely a lifestyle. So come with questions, bring your curiosity. Don't be afraid to ask them. This is definitely something that, unless you have a family member who's a flight attendant, or you know, a family member, a lot of people don't know what this job really is like. People have their assumptions from the outside, but there's a lot of things that that you just don't know until you're in it. And you know, most likely the person who's giving you an interview is a flight attendant themselves. I can't speak for all companies. I'm not even going to speak for mine, but that might be the case. And so if that is the case, take advantage of that and just ask them, you know, what do you like about the job? Why did you decide to fly? Kind of give them an opportunity to give their perspective, and it's going to be more like a conversation at that point. It's not going to feel like a big questions and answers back and forth. It's going to be a genuine, fun conversation, and it's going to make it more enjoyable, because I'm sure, I mean, I've never had to interview anybody before, but I'm sure when you have to interview so many people, it gets really boring and the days get long. So I'm sure it's refreshing to meet somebody who has great conversational skills, because you're gonna have that, or you're gonna need that when you become a flight attendant. So that is it. Wow, I was able to do this in 13 minutes. Yay me. Again, this was just a little Cliff's Notes version of my tips. I am more than willing to kind of go in depth with anything that I said, or if there's something again that I didn't even mention in this video that you're curious about, go ahead and ask those questions below. Make sure that you like this video, comment below, subscribe if you dig this video or any other videos on my channel, share this video with a buddy. Any engagement is good engagement, and I really appreciate you. And with that said, bye.